ಹೋಮ್ ಕೇರ್ ಗೈಡ್ಲೈನ್ಸ್. ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲೇ ಇದ್ದುಕೊಂಡು ತಮ್ಮನ್ನು ತಾವು ಪ್ರತ್ಯೇಕವಾಗಿರಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ತಮ್ಮನ್ನು ತಾವು ನೋಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಮ್ ಕೇರ್ ಗೈಡ್ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನವರು ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. All these patients who have tested for COVID-19 and those who are mainly asymptomatic or mildly symptomatic are only those patients who are to be oriented for home care. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, they have to be oriented. They need to be taught how to take care of themselves in the home care. So what are the eligibility to be assessed is, now the government has told the district health authority in the districts, metropolitan area dalli idu Brahat Bengaluru Mahanagara Palike BBMP, then authorized private health institutes who are authorized to look after this home care patients. So they should visit the home of the positive patient and they have to do a triage and see whether the patient is asymptomatic or a mild case. So only those cases which can take care of themselves and quarantine other family members without coming into contact, these are the patients who have been allowed to take home isolation protocol. So I'll be telling how these patients have to be taken care as per the GOK, Government of Karnataka guidelines. See, these patients need to have a dedicated telemonitoring facility that has to be established in their household for the entire period of the home isolation protocol. So prati maneyallu kuda ondu telephone vyavasthe irbeku a patient na monitor madlikke. So the person shall report to the physician every day and he should have these following things. Dr. Satyanarayana also told in his talk what are the prerequisites for a patient. So he should have one pulse oximeter with him, a digital thermometer and a personal protection equipment. So what are the personal protection equipment? It's a face mask and the gloves, which is a must for the patient at home. So home isolation is always done with the full knowledge of the family members, because without their positive like performance or participation, the patient alone can't manage these things. And even the neighbors of the patient, the treating physician and local authorities. So it's just like a teamwork. Everybody should be knowing exactly this person is in home isolation and what are the things to be done. So release from home isolation at the end of the period, I'll be talking later, is as per the discharge protocol of the state government. So what do we do initially? These parameters have to be assessed. One is thermal scanning for fever, pulse oximetry for SpO2 and the pulse rate. And we also should check the random sugar with a glucometer and also the initial blood pressure using a BP apparatus. So ಇವೆಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದ ನಂತರ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅವರ ರಕ್ತ ಕಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂತ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ನ ಪಲ್ಸ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಮೆಟ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಬ್ಲಡ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂತ ಶುಗರ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ನ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. After this, the triage includes mainly is, these are the most important things, the comorbidities. ಆ ಮನುಷ್ಯನಿಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಕಾಯಿಲೆಗಳು ಇದೆಯಾ ಅನ್ನೋದು ತುಂಬಾ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗ್ತದೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ. So what are the parameters we see is hypertension, diabetes, obesity, thyroid disease, then if he has any kidney disease, cancer, heart disease, stroke, tuberculosis, HIV or on any immunosuppressant medication or steroids. So ಇವೆಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಪೇಷಂಟು ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲೇ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಅವರು ಪ್ರತ್ಯೇಕಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ತಮ್ಮನ್ನು ತಾವು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕಾಗುತ್ತಾ, ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ರಿಸ್ಕ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್. So what are the eligibility criteria for home isolation? So main criteria is there should be a caregiver available for 24/7. ಆ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯ ಜೊತೆ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ರು ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಇರ್ಲೇಬೇಕು, ಅವ್ರನ್ನ 24 ತಾಸುಗಳನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅವರು ಒಬ್ಬರೇ ಹೋಮ್ ಐಸೋಲೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಒಬ್ರು ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆಲಿ ಇರ್ಲೇಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. And he should have mild fever less than 100 degree Fahrenheit and he should have oxygen saturation more than 95%, resting oxygen saturation, and his age is less than 60 years. So ಜ್ವರ ತುಂಬಾ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇರಬೇಕು, 100 ಡಿಗ್ರಿಗಿನ್ನ ಕಮ್ಮಿ, ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ಸ್ 95% ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಮತ್ತು ಆ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯ ವಯಸ್ಸು 60 ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಕೆಲವು ಕೋಮಾರ್ಬಿಡಿಟೀಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ hypertension, diabetes, obesity, thyroid, if it is well controlled for that particular person and certified by the physician, then also he will be eligible for home isolation. If the patient has any comorbidities like kidney disease, including dialysis, heart disease, stroke, tuberculosis, HIV, and immunocompromised patients on steroids or immunosuppressants, these don't qualify for home isolation. They need to be in hospital isolation. Person, whoever wants to undergo a home isolation should make a signed undertaking on self-isolation and follow the guidelines. ಇದು ತುಂಬಾ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾದ್ದು. ಯಾರೇ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ, ನನ್ನನ್ನು ನಾನು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀನಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಪತ್ರವನ್ನ ಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಅವರು ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಗೈಡ್ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ನ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಆಸ್ ಪರ್ ದ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ತುಂಬಾ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಈ ಹೋಮ್ ಐಸೋಲೇಷನ್ ಪ್ರೋಟೋಕಾಲ್ ನ ಮುರಿದ್ರೆ ಅದರಿಂದ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಮತ್ತು ನಾವು ಏನು ಈ ಕಾಯಿಲೆಯನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಿದೀವಿ ಅದು ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. So person shall agree to monitor his health regularly and inform their health status to physician and health authorities. So district level ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್ ಸರ್ವೈಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫೀಸರ್ ಅಂತ ಪ್ರತಿ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ರೂಪಿಸಿದೆ. ಅವರಿಗೆ ಪ್ರತಿದಿನ ಈ ಪೇಷಂಟ್ಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಹೋಮ್ ಐಸೋಲೇಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕಬಲ್ ಟು ಪ್ರೆಗ್ನೆಂಟ್ ವುಮೆನ್ ಹೂ ಆರ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ 4 weeks ಫ್ರಮ್ ದೇರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಡೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಡೆಲಿವರಿ. ಸೊ ಗರ್ಭಿಣಿ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರು ಅವರು ಇನ್ನೇನು ಪ್ರಸವದ 4 ವಾರಗಳ ಮುಂಚೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಹೋಮ್ ಐಸೋಲೇಷನ್ ಪ್ರೋಟೋಕಾಲ್ ಅವೈಲಬಲ್ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಂಡ್ if a person is not eligible for home isolation, then they need to be admitted either in a dedicated COVID healthcare center or a dedicated COVID hospital, depending on their condition as deemed fit by the treating physician. So, what are the instructions in the guidelines to the person who is undergoing home isolation? So, they always have to wear medical face mask or N95 mask, and these masks have to be discarded after 8 hours. 8 ತಾಸುಗಳ ನಂತರ ಈ ಫೇಸ್ ಮಾಸ್ಕ್ ಅನ್ನ ಅವರು ತೆಗೆದುಹಾಕಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಈ ಮಾಸ್ಕ್ ಅನ್ನ ಎಸೆಯೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಂಚೆ ಇಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಡಿಸ್ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್. ಸೊ ಆಲ್ ದ ಮಾಸ್ಕ್ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಯು ಥ್ರೋ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಡಿಸ್ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ವಿತ್ sodium hypochlorite solution, and the person must stay in an identified room only and maintain physical distance of 2 meters or 6 feet from people. So all other peoples in his household, they should maintain a physical distance of at least 2 meters or 6 feet from the affected person. And the person should take complete rest and drink plenty of fluids. See, hydration is most important part of the treatment protocol. So you should eat a nutritious diet and take rest and drink plenty of water. At least they are told 2 liters of water per day, because these are healthy individuals. If somebody has a kidney problem, if he has a restricted fluid intake, any of those patients will be in the hospital. The person should follow cough etiquettes. You may be seeing a lot of advertisement in the television how to cough. So when you have to cough, either use a handkerchief or a napkin, or use your arm while coughing so that you don't create droplets within your household. Frequent hand wash for 40 seconds. So all the TV ads show 20 seconds. That is for prevention. So this person is an infected person. So it is advised to wash hands with a regular soap for 40 seconds or use an alcohol-based sanitizer. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾದದ್ದು ಕನಿಷ್ಠ ಪಕ್ಷ 40 ಸೆಕೆಂಡುಗಳ ಕಾಲ ತಮ್ಮ ಕೈಗಳನ್ನ ತೊಳೆದುಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಥವಾ ಆಲ್ಕೋಹಾಲ್ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಯಾನಿಟೈಸರ್ ನ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸಬೇಕು. ಸೊ the next most important thing is in any household is do not share personal items. ಅವರು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಟವಲ್ ಆಗಬಹುದು ಅಥವಾ ಪಾತ್ರೆಗಳಾಗಬಹುದು. ಸೊ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಐಟಮ್ಸ್ ನ ಈ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಬೇರೆಯವರು ಅದನ್ನ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Mannerly clean surfaces in room with Lysol 7% or 1% sodium hypochlorite solution. So clean and disinfect both room, bathroom and toilets at least once a day with regular detergent followed by sodium hypochlorite solution. So strictly avoid smoking, chewing tobacco and alcohol. Shall monitor his health regularly and report counseling. Counseling is required if somebody is in need of it. Install Arogya Setu app so that this will give an indication about the health of the person, and also it will give a feedback to the government about his health. So that was the instruction to the person who is undergoing home isolation. And what are the instructions to the caregiver? There is a caregiver who is available with the person 24/7. The caregiver also should wear medical face mask or an N95 mask when in the same room. This is very important. Whenever you go into the room of the asymptomatic home isolation person, you should wear a medical face mask or an N95 mask when you are in the room. And never touch the front portion of the mask. Whenever you are using this mask in this household, these people or caregivers have to be very careful. They should never touch the front portion of the mask. Dispose the face mask in a closed bin. Never throw the mask here and there. Keep a bin at home and put the face mask in a closed bin. And always avoid touching your eyes, nose, mouth as long as you are caregiver in this house. Never touch your eyes after giving care to that asymptomatic carrier or infected person. Always wash your hands or sanitize your hands with hand sanitizer, and then only you should touch your eyes, nose or mouth. Hand hygiene is the most important thing because they should avoid getting infected themselves. So disposable paper towels are preferred. Use disposable gloves while handling the person. So avoid touching body fluids, avoid sharing potentially contaminated items. As I told you, nothing should be shared. Food should be provided to the person in his room only. Always provide the food or keep the food in front of the room so that the person can consume it in his room only, so that they don't sit in the common dining area. Utensils used by the person should be cleaned while using gloves only. Never wash these utensils with plain hands, and after that you will be at risk of getting infected yourself. So use gloves for cleaning this items, and then they should be kept back. So continued instruction to the caregivers, because they are the most important link in the whole chain, because the person may not follow all the guidelines as told by the government, but if the caregiver is cooperative and is always attentive, then this becomes an easy process. The person's clothes, bed linen, bath and hand towel shall be washed using regular laundry detergent with warm water. This is very important. You all know that the virus usually dies at 58 to 60 degrees centigrade. So use warm water above this temperature so that the virus gets killed completely. The protective aprons and gloves should be used while cleaning the surface of the room. Wherever this person is living, that room needs to be clean, means always wear a protective apron and gloves and clean the surfaces, mainly handling the clothes used by the affected person and the soiled linen. You should wear protective equipment yourself and then touch with the gloved hand only. So the caregiver shall ensure the person takes all the prescribed medication as advised by his treating physician. This again is important because all these patients are not given too many medication. There will be very few medication, and if the person is a hypertensive or a diabetic, they are more important to maintain the immune status of the person at a proper level. So monitor the person's health and also of the other members of the family. So the caregiver has a double task. They have to monitor the health of the person and also the members of the family. So they need to do some counseling to keep up the morale of the affected person and report to the health authorities or the physician. So self-health monitoring of the caregiver also is important. They have to monitor themselves, they have to monitor the person and also other members of the family. So the key person in the whole home isolation protocol is the caregiver. So what are the instructions to the other family members? As Dr. Satnarayan told, nobody should panic or they should not stigmatize the infected person. So this is the key. Don't see them as something which is incurable, because it is just like any other flu, but maybe with it which is more contagious, but it goes off and they get cured. So never panic, always stay calm, keep the person cheerful and boost his morale. Never let them down telling that you are sick, you are a bane for the family. This is the most important thing that the other family members need to be thought of. And these members have the task of ensuring that the person is in strict home isolation. He should stay within his room. He should not go out and wander around. And always maintain a physical distance of 2 meters or 6 feet from the affected person. And this is the most important thing. Never allow any visitors into your house till this home isolation protocol are allowed. So there will be a sticker put in front of your house, so that as it is, any visitors coming will know that this home is under home isolation protocol. And as it is, never call anyone or entertain anyone into your house till the protocol is done. Remember, the fight is against the disease. It's not against any person. Whenever there is any assistance required, there is the Apta Mitra helpline 14410. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಸಹಾಯಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಆಪ್ತ ಮಿತ್ರ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ 1441 ಕರೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಸಲಹೆಗಳನ್ನು ತಗೋಬಹುದು. ಸೊ ವೆನ್ ಟು ಸೀಕ್ ಫರ್ದರ್ ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಅಡ್ವೈಸ್. ಈಗ ಹೋಮ್ ಕೇರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವರಿಗೆ ಯಾವ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆದರೆ ಅವರು ವೈದ್ಯರನ್ನ ಸಂಪರ್ಕಿಸಬೇಕು. ಇವನ್ನ ಸೂಕ್ಷ್ಮವಾಗಿ ನೋಡಿ ಗಮನದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಡಿ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಎನಿ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟಿ ಇನ್ ಬ್ರೀತಿಂಗ್ ದ ಅಫೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಸ್. If his oxygen saturation dips below 94%, if he has persistent fever of more than 38 degree or 100.4 degree Fahrenheit, then he should seek medical advice. Any persistent pain or pressure in the chest, mental confusion or inability to arouse, slurred speech, seizures, ಯಾರಿಗಾದ್ರೂ ಫಿಟ್ಸ್ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ವೈದ್ಯರನ್ನ ಸಂಪರ್ಕಿಸಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. Weakness or numbness in any limb or face. This is also a very important fact, because few of the patients who are COVID positive have presented with hemiplegia or hemiparesis. So this is a very important symptom which has been added. If you develop any bluish discoloration of the lips and face, any other serious symptoms, if the family member or the caregiver thinks he is out of the way from the routine of the patient, they should seek the advice of the physician. As Dr. Satnarayan told, the first 5 days of the home isolation will be relatively cool and the patient will be hale and healthy. If any symptoms develop, if they are usually after the 5th day. So the caregiver and the family member should be vigilant about any of these symptoms developing, and they should report to the treating doctor. So these patients are monitored by healthcare workers who take care of these patients. So what are the instructions to the healthcare workers, what they are supposed to do? First is, after they feel that the person can undergo a home isolation and it is appropriate, then they should put a notice to be pasted on the front door informing others that this person is undergoing home isolation protocol. And the person who is undergoing home isolation should be hand stamped for 17 days. So the quarantine watch shall be downloaded and used for daily monitoring. So this is an app which is developed by the government, and it links the home isolation person to the healthcare worker so that they can monitor him every day. Inform at least 2 of his neighbors that this particular person is undergoing home isolation. This many people may not like, but this ensures that nobody violates the home isolation protocol. 3-member team has to be formed in every ward, village, or booth level, or if they are staying in an apartment, the resident welfare of the apartment owners association, they need to make a 3-member team to oversee the supervision of the home isolation. If any person is found violating home isolation protocol, action will be taken as per the Disaster Management Act with IPC. So this, everybody should be careful because they have signed a declaration that they will follow the home isolation protocol. So they have to follow that. Otherwise, they can be entased with the legal implications. So ಯಾವುದೇ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಅಂಡರ್ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟ ನಂತರ ಅವರು ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ವಯೋಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಕಾನೂನು ರೀತಿ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ತಗೊಳ್ತಾರೆ ಸರ್ಕಾರ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಇದನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಪರಿಗಣಿಸಬೇಕು. Then this person who violates the isolation protocol will be either shifted to a COVID care center, which is more stringent, where he can't be with the family members. Link the person to telemonitoring centers. See, as I told you, there is an app or a telemonitoring facility available for home isolation protocol. And even we can enable IVRS outbound calls from Haptamitra helpline. That is 14410. So what are the precautions to be taken for the caregiver and the close contacts in the family? They can be given HCQS prophylaxis as per the protocol, because this has to be, again, I make it clear, has to be decided by the physician whether the caregiver and the other contacts are eligible for hydroxychloroquine prophylaxis depending on their physical status. Then telephonically or telemonitoring mode, check the person for development of new symptom or fever or deterioration in oxygen saturation, as I told before. Gloves, mask, and other waste generated during home isolation have to be placed in a closed container and disposed as infectious waste. ಸೊ ಇದು ತುಂಬಾ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾದ್ದು. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಗ್ಲೌಸ್, ಮಾಸ್ಕ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಆ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂತ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ನ ನಾವು ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷಿಯಸ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಪೋಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವೋ ಆ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲೇ ಡಿಸ್ಪೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಅವನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ಡ್ ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ ಅಥವಾ ಕಂಟೈನರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಇಡಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಡಿಸ್ಪೋಸ್ ಮಾಡುವ ಟಾಸ್ಕ್ ಅನ್ನ ಆ ಲೋಕಲ್ ಮುನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಅಥಾರಿಟೀಸ್ಗೆ ಕೊಡಲಾಗಿದೆ. So it is the responsibility of the local municipal authorities to dispose this as infectious waste. And the concerned area medical officer, if somebody is under a PHC, primary healthcare center, or a urban primary healthcare center, CHC agbodu, general hospital agbodu, shall report details about patients under home isolation to the district surveillance officer on a daily basis. The same should be uploaded on the Government of India COVID-19 portal and facility app by DSO. So the DSO has the task of uploading the details of all home isolation protocol patients on this Government of India COVID-19 protocol portal. So when to release the patient from home isolation? The person under home isolation should end home isolation after 17 days after the onset of symptoms or date of sampling. So ಯಾರಿಗಾದ್ರೂ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ರೋಗದ ಚಿಹ್ನೆ ಕಂಡ ನಂತರ 17 ದಿನ ಅಥವಾ ಅವರ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ದಿನದಿಂದ 17 ನಂತರ. But here the important fact is, for the last 3 days the patient should be totally asymptomatic without any fever or any other symptoms. So this is the key criteria to release the person from home isolation. They should be released if the following criteria are met. Like as I told, last 3 days they don't have any symptom, no fever, and the minimum maintained saturation above 95% always, and respiratory rate is less than 24 per minute. So ಈ 4 ಕ್ರೈಟೀರಿಯಾಗಳಿದ್ರೆ ಆ ಪರ್ಸನ್, ಆ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನ ಹೋಮ್ ಐಸೋಲೇಷನ್ ಪ್ರೋಟೋಕಾಲ್ ಇಂದ ಹೊರಗೆ ಬಿಡಬಹುದು. There is, now the protocol tells, there is no need to for RT-PCR or CBNAT or TrueNAT test after home isolation. Period is over. ಈ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಫಿಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋದಕ್ಕೆ a fitness certificate shall be issued by the concerned area medical officer. If a person is monitored by a private hospital, reporting to be done to the DSO regarding release from the home isolation. So disinfection of the house is very important after completion of home isolation with 7% Lysol solution or 1% hypochlorite solution. All the ground surfaces of the house up to 6 feet height is the guideline which tells the room has to be cleaned and disinfected once the person ends his home isolation protocol. So these are the detailed guidelines provided by the Government of Karnataka. Most of the guidelines are as per the Government of India protocols, and this just came last evening. To the best of my ability, I put them across as a presentation, and hope this makes it clear to all our listeners that it looks very simple, but it's not so simple. It needs to be followed. Certain protocols are to be done. The caregivers have to be educated. There has to be a telemonitoring facility. The household members have to be educated. The neighbors have to be educated. And it's a task of its own. And but it's worth it because it reduces the load on our healthcare system and also helps the cost incurred, because anybody goes to a COVID care center or a medical facility comes with a cost. So reduction of the cost, getting our beds back for symptomatic patients makes it a big difference. And thank you, BOS and KOS, for this opportunity. Any questions, please feel free to ask.